Welcome to Hospitality Property School. This podcast is where savvy hotel, inn, bed and breakfast, and resort owners and managers get their weekly dose of hospitality property tactics and strategies from authorities in the hospitality industry. They will share their decades of experience and help you find success. You are listening to Hospitality Property School with your host, Jerry McPherson. Well, good day and welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I am your instructor, Jerry McPherson, and today I'm going to talk about recycling hotel soap. Now, you might be scratching your head thinking, what did he just say? Well, you understood correctly. Today I'm going to talk about recycling hotel soap. Now, in this podcast, I'm going to do something a little different. A few months ago, I read a story that stuck with me. Now, I've been planning to share it with you for a while, but I was not quite sure how I wanted to do it. Well, I've decided to share it with you just as I read it. I'm going to read the story to you. It was presented a few months back on CNN's Business Traveler by Kate Springer and was called "The Company Cleaning Up the World's Biggest Hotels." Here it goes. The next time you check out of a hotel, spare a thought for the barely touched soap you left behind in your room. Around the world, 5 million hotel soaps make their way to landfills every single day. But Clean the World aims to turn those discarded slabs into a life-changing commodity. With recycling centers in the United States and Hong Kong, the non-for-profit corporation has partnered with 5,000 hotels internationally to recycle soap from nearly 1 million hotel rooms daily, distributing them instead to families, schools, and organizations in need. Why? UNICEF estimates that 1.4 million children a year die from diseases such as pneumonia and cholera, easily preventable with better hygiene. Soap and health and hygiene have a huge impact in our world. Founder Sean Seipler tells CNN, "Soap impacts health. Soap impacts one's environment. Soap impacts economic issues. Soap impacts the rate at which infectious disease spreads." Confessions of a Frequent Flyer. Before starting Clean the World in 2009, Speiler was like most business travelers. As a vice president of a global technology company, he traveled consistently, staying no more than a few nights at any time at any given hotel. Again and again, he noticed his hotel soap disappeared overnight, even if he had hardly touched it. One day, I called the front desk at the hotel I was staying at and asked them what happened to the soap when I was done with it. They said it was discarded, recalls Seipler. He did some research and discovered that the hotel industry was tossing 1 million bars of soap every day. Seipler didn't immediately know how or what he was going to do with this information, but further investigation led him to an important connection. At the time, he found 9 million children died every year from pneumonia and gastrointestinal diseases. Countless studies showed that if we gave these children soap and talked to them about how and when to wash their hands, we could cut those deaths in half, says Seipler. With the amount of soap we're throwing away globally, I was surprised that nobody had put this together before us. Scrubbing in. Seipler learned how to recycle soap, but the operation was scrappy at first. My family and I established a recycling center in a single-car garage in downtown Orlando, Florida, Seipler recalls. We all sat around on upside-down pickle buckets with potato peelers. We would scrape soap, had a meat grinder to break it down, and cookers to melt it. We had wood soap molds and racks to fan down the soap when it was done rebadging or adding logos. The power would cut out in the house every 30 minutes, and the police even stopped by once with a few suspicions. That was our first factory. All day at work, and we would make 500 bars of soap, Seipler says. They eventually wrapped up the process after establishing their first major hotel partnership with Marriott International and logistic partnerships with UPS and Guest Supply, a supplier of hotel toiletries. Expanding to Asia. In 2014, Clean the World expanded its footprint to Asia, home to some of the world's most impoverished communities. There are millions of hotel rooms in Asia, and there's a tremendous need for soap, especially in areas of Southeast Asia and in India, says Seipler. With a recycling factory in Hong Kong, the organization partnered with some of the largest brands in Asia, including the Mandarin Orient, the Peninsula Hong Kong, INTERCONTINENTAL Grand Sanford Hong Kong, and the Sands China. One of the earliest regional partners, the Venetian Macau, the largest casino in the world, has diverted approximately 3 million bars, making it one of the largest contributors. I don't think most people realize that there are people around the world dying because they don't have access to basic hygiene, such as being able to wash hands with soap. Saad Mubarak, Director of Sustainability for Venetian Macau, tells CNN, "My feeling is that awareness of the environment, of recycling and of waste handling have increased in general in Asia and in the hospitality sector." Seipler says the main pushback from hotels is the cost, about $1 per room per month. This fee, he said, includes collection, logistics, impact reports, recycling and redistribution to charities across Asia that give soap with hygiene education to underserved communities. Squeaky Clean Soap. In a 12,000 square foot factory in Hong Kong, the organization scrubs, sorts, and recycles 50 to 60,000 bars of soap, or 50 to 60 tons a month. The process begins with a thorough cleaning where volunteers scrape soap free of hair and fibers. Then it's on to sorting. Holiday Inn's Macau oatmeal bars, Aloft Taipei's bright blue soaps, and the W's green suds stay together, while more generic white soaps can mix and mingle. This is important because some of the soaps are harder than others. If the soap is harder, it takes longer to process, factory director Alex Chin tells CNN. So it's more effective to mix together the soft and hard soaps. From there, the soap is crushed and shaved into pretty ribbons, nicknamed soap noodles, then sterilized. The last step requires further pummeling until the soap is broken down into almost a chalky texture. The powerful mixer churns the soap into a rectangular mold and stamps it with a fresh Clean the World logo. Squeaky clean and ready for a new home. I like that story. If you have any stories about recycling hotel soap, or any ways of giving back, and would like to share, or have any questions or feedback, you can leave them in the comments section of the show notes. You can find them at KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com/KHDC075. Well, that's it for today's session of Hospitality Property School. We appreciate your comments, and if you have topic ideas, please reach out to us. You can do that on Facebook at facebook.com/KeystoneHDC, on Twitter at twitter.com/KeystoneHDC, or by email at info@KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com. As always, let's work together to put heads in your beds. Until next time, have a fun day. This session of Hospitality Property School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe so as not to miss any hospitality property tactics and strategies that will help you find the success you have always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content possible. We will see you next time, right here in Hospitality Property School.